It's like all my worst nightmares usually come true if I think about them too much. Like when I started working at my old job, I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I hope I don't drop this coffee on my keyboard. Guess what happens like 2 days into it? I dropped some coffee on the keyboard,
Oh no.
but not too much, so it's okay.
Not too much.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know how. It was, I don't know. I just, maybe
I did a similar thing. I like deleted a really important assignment once.
But it's just an assignment, JSF. This is important. Oh my god. Yeah. Basically, what we have to do is not think about our greatest fears, and they will never happen.
That's a good attitude to have.
I just got okay. Give me 1 sec.
That's all right.
Okay, so somebody on the Alvina video,
Okay.
somebody posted a question. The person's name is
Yeah.
Anti-Waiter? Water? Anti-Waiter? I'll send you their name
Okay.
too. I don't know how to
Okay.
pronounce it. Maybe you'll know.
Okay. Okay. Oh, it is just anti-waiter.
What? Yeah.
It is just anti-waiter. I don't know.
Why were you so surprised that I could read?
I thought it was going to be some like strange word that you were like reading phonetically, but it's just anti-waiter.
What's a waiter? Why is there an
I
H
don't
in
know.
it?
I don't know. Maybe it's anti-water.
Wata. Maybe. Maybe it's like anti-W hater.
Maybe.
Okay, let's start step by step. What's a gargoyle?
Gargoyle is the gargoyles in the game are a real gargoyle.
Oh my god.
You have to be specific.
Okay, gargoyles in the game.
Okay, the gargoyles in the game are the boss of Undead Parish, and they show up on the top of the Undead Parish roof. They start off as statues. They come to life and they jump down. You fight them, and then way later, when you get to Anor Londo, there are another two gargoyles that are just wandering around there, and they have a chance to drop a gargoyle helmet and a gargoyle spear, and I think a gargoyle shield that give you really good resistances, but aren't especially powerful physically.
Did you just burp in the middle of a sentence?
Yeah, I don't
edit
have any
it out.
coffee.
I can
I
edit
don't
it out
have
if it's
coffee. I'm
between
having to
words.
improvise.
Richard,
It's some lukewarm Pepsi that I found.
I can't edit
was-
a word. I'm not that good yet. So, can you time your burps in between? Like, even if it's in
Okay.
between letters.
Let's just leave this part in so that it's less awkward so everyone knows what happened.
Oh God. Okay. So okay. Well, tell me about gargoyles in the real world.
In the real world, this is something that's come up through discussing Bloodborne with people, because in the real world, gargoyles were originally designed to cover up water spouts on the sides of buildings. That's why they're called a gargoyle, because it has the same root as the word gargle, like it's water coming out of your mouth.
Oh.
And that's so, like in Bloodborne, there was this. I've had this discussion with multiple people about like, oh, isn't it strange that like all the statues in Bloodborne, they have these huge wide mouths, and I'm like, that's probably because they're based on real world gargoyles that had water spouts in their mouths.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they have the big wide open mouths, so that water can come out of them.
Okay.
But it's come to mean basically any kind of like statue on the side of a building.
Cool.
Actually, I can hang on. The word comes from this. It's a French like dragon called like a gargoyle. You can probably pronounce it better than me. That was like a here we are. How do you pronounce this word?
Gargouille.
Gargoyle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the word that gargoyle comes from, and that is a French sea monster that would suck up all this water and then spit it back out again.
Huh. Cool.
So that's where we get gargoyle and gargle from.
Awesome. Okay, who made them in Well, I guess whatever you have, if you have the creator of them in the real world, I'll take it.
I don't think they have a real world official creator.
Okay, what about Dark Souls?
Well, in Dark Souls, they're just on the church. So I guess whoever built the church built the gargoyles onto it.
Who
And
built the
like, there's
church?
also gargoyles. Well, there's gargoyles in Anor Londo. So like, maybe it was the same. It's a way of linking it to Anor Londo.
So it's like something Gwyn may have ordered to improve the scenery?
Maybe because they work like guards in Anor Londo. They like patrol it.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is, right? Like, originally the boss for Undead Parish was going to be the centipede demon that you fight in Lost Isolate. It was going to be stuck to the side of the building, and then it would stop you getting to the bell by like uncurling and crawling onto the roof. And they swapped them around, and like they seem better swapped around because the centipede demon fits in better with the aesthetics of Isolate than it would in the Undead Parish.
Mm-hmm.
But like yeah, so I think like the in terms of design, like the gargoyles were probably designed as an Anor Londo enemy, and then they kind of upgraded them to a boss at some point later on.
Okay, cool. Are they related to the stone dragons in some way?
Well, they're made of stone.
Deep.
Like when you start off, they're like stone and they come to life again, and then they get recycled in all the other games as well. Like they show up in oh no, hang on. What they're based on is a boss in Demon Souls you haven't got to yet.
I was about to ask you if they appear in Demon
Yeah,
Souls.
there's a boss in Demon Souls you haven't gotten to yet called Man Eaters, which is
Mhm.
they're kind of this. There's the same like winged creature where like it's the same gimmick where one descends and then as you're fighting one, after a certain amount of damage is done, a second one shows up.
Huh. Oh my
So like
god,
the gargoyle, like, yeah,
Richard!
spoilers.
No, no! I just thought of
What?
something. Could they have been created by someone on Miyazaki's team?
Maybe.
Oh, we're like
Oh,
geniuses.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
not real. It's actually a video game.
Yeah, huh?
Just going to be one of the top 10 mind blowing facts.
Truth behind gargoyles revealed.
Yeah.
Theory.
Revealed theory FaceTime with the boss baby. Oh my god, he answered 3 a.m. real.
What?
There's just this like weird cottage industry of videos that claim that someone went on FaceTime and talked to the boss baby. And then he came to their house. And they always have in brackets afterwards real. So you know it's not fake.
Oh.
And it's just them going like, "Oh my god, the boss baby's in my front yard right now," and it's just like they've printed out a cardboard boss baby and stuck it kind of out of focus behind the fence. So you see like the camera kind of zooms in and isn't quite in focus, and there's this boss baby shaped blob in the background.
Oh my god. Okay, so are they related to Sith experiments?
What I was saying before is like they then bring them back in 2 and in 3, and in those they're literally like animated statues. They don't seem to be alive. Like in Dark Souls, the gargoyles in that they seem to be like flesh and blood creatures, and you can cut their tails off like you
Right.
cut the tails off
Hmm.
animals. And whereas in 2 and 3 they bring them back, but in that they're literally stone that's been brought to life.
Okay.
So the ones in 1 do seem different. They seem like a yeah. In 1 they seem more like a living creature that adopts like a stone aspect to it, and then after that they just become stone.
Random question. I'm just trying to remember. Can you cut
Okay.
tails off in Dark Souls 3 and turn them into weapons?
No. No. It's only 1.
Okay. Huh. All
I
right.
wish they'd bring it back.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the story behind that?
Yes, please.
That is from an old Japanese folktale about a dragon with a sword in its tail.
Huh, I had no idea.
Oh, look, I can't remember the exact spelling. Hang on. It's a creature. It's a massive serpent, like a hydra thing called Yamato no Orochi. And there's a sacred sword that's discovered when its tail is cut off. So they cut the thing's tail off, and there's this sword inside it. And that's where Dark Souls, because it's like a hydra monster. That's where Dark Souls gets the idea that the dragons have swords inside their tails, and also the gargoyles have something in their tails.
Cool. Awesome. Are they Havel's second favorite food?
What is Havel's first favorite food? Is it dragons?
I think it may be my despair. Have you seen that video when I was running away from Havel?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you see the brilliant strategizing?
What
Uh,
can you explain your brilliant strategizing for the people at
Okay,
home?
because I just started playing Dark Souls 1 at the time, and I didn't
Yep.
really understand how NPCs worked. So I was running from him on this like staircase, and I kept running and running and running, and I figured like, oh, he won't catch me. But just in case, just to be sure he won't catch me, instead of going through the doorway, which would make him not run after me, I went up a few more steps into like a dead end. And
Yeah.
then he caught up with me. And then I tried to roll away, and then he just like one
Oh,
shot at me on the face.
the most depressing thing in Dark Souls is when, if you want to help people by putting down a summon sign to fight the Taurus demon,
Mm-hmm.
and like you get summoned, and then there's a point as you enter that tower where if they start veering slightly to the left, you know that they actually want you to fight Havel.
Oh, that
And
is
it's
so
really depressing.
cute.
So like it's fine up until a certain point, and then like it's just this incredible tension. Like, please turn right, please turn right, please turn right, and they always turn left, and you have to fight Havel, for which you don't even get anything.
Oh,
And usually, like they don't even help; they just run around in circles and they expect you to solo Havel. But like you're on level 10, and it's like I'm just trying to help you with the fucking Taurus demon,
listen, they
right?
went to the Sinclair School of Brilliant Strategizing, okay? Oh man, you know what was sad for me in Dark Souls 3, and I was a little bit mad about it? I put down my summon sign to help people with word deterder.
his name is Bort.
What?
Bort.
There's like 4 R's and 17 T's in that name.
I call him Bort.
Oh, so yeah, so I put down my sign because I'm like, oh, I'll practice this boss and I'll help people, right? And I get summoned.
Yep.
And then the person summons me and then they go the opposite
To the
way.
dancer.
Well, I didn't
Yeah.
know it was a dancer. I didn't know it
Yeah.
was a boss, and I
Uh,
followed them. And then
yeah.
I'm like, no, why? It totally got spoiled, and I was not pleased.
Yeah, that's the Dark Souls 3 equivalent is you put down a summon sign for Fort and you end up having to fight the dancer.
Yeah. It wasn't even smart on the person's part because clearly I'm a noob. I'm trying to help people with the first boss. How
Yeah,
much
well,
do you
they
think I
don't
can
know
help
that
you?
is the thing.
They're like, oh, it's Sinclair. She knows what she's doing. I saw her run away from Havel that one time. Brilliant work.
Oh,
Okay. What makes them guard a location?
um, I don't know. Why? Well, I guess like they make sense where they are because it's a church, so you can imagine it's got gargoyles built into it. But like, I guess they're testing you to about ringing the bell.
Mm-hmm.
The point is like when you ring both bells, that wakes up Framp. So I guess they want someone who's strong enough to beat the gargoyles.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not clear like what the deal with the second bell is because like Quelaag is not supposed to be guarding the bell; she's guarding her sister. So maybe it was just supposed to be like the journey down to Blighttown was supposed to be the test.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe. Okay, cool. Thank you. Um, do they live through the end of a cycle?
Well, there are gargoyles in 2, and there are gargoyles in 3, but they're different gargoyles.
So, but no, they're not alive though, right?
Well, I don't know how alive you can say they are or aren't, because like, I mean, they're alive. They might not be like, they might have been brought to life through magic or something, but
Hmm. Do you remember that cartoon, The Gargoyles?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, it used to be my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
Did they
Is that
they
canon for Souls?
Yeah, because they turned to stone during the day.
Yeah, yeah. They turn to stone in like the Middle Ages, and then they come out again like in the modern day.
Yeah, yeah, no, but I mean during the
Yeah.
day, like
Yeah, yeah.
so basically that means that Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3 are constantly day, but Dark Souls 1 is
Yeah.
night because it's actually under the moon, which
That makes
is
perfect sense.
yeah, because like what's his
Yeah.
name? Gwendolyn. It's like there's no sun, it's just the moon, right?
We're sure.
I make the best lore, bro. Have you seen my Garden of Ice lore? It's the deepest thing in the world.
It is. That's my favorite video of yours.
Okay. Uh, just curious. If I just never noticed something about them and kept in the. I can't read. Do you understand why I hate voiceover now? Because I read a whole script, and then I
Yeah.
literally have to memorize it for it to sound semi decent. Because I'm
Yeah.
illiterate.
But you speak like three languages, so it's fine.
Apparently, I'm illiterate in all of them. Uh, okay. All we know is they mysteriously came to life.
Yeah,
Um,
that's literally all we know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, hang on. I'm gonna look up to see if the gargoyle helmet has any like lore about them on it.
Okay.
It just says Helm of the Gargoyle, an enchanted creature that guarded the Bell of Awakening in Undead Church.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hang on. It says here that the helmet is made of bronze,
Okay.
and the rest of the gargoyle is naturally very, very tough. So like, um, whoever like made like the helmet's not. It's not like it's a statue with the helmet on it. Like the helmet was made for the gargoyles to wear, like after they were created.
Oh. Do they have any other armor? They have the tail,
Um, yeah, they have the
the axe.
shield. Yeah, they have a ton, don't they? They have the halberd, the shield, the helmet, and the axe. So maybe they were intended more as like a recurring enemy.
Huh.
That's why they have so many drops, and then they made them a boss.
Huh.
Yeah, it says the same thing with the shield. That like the shield is it says like the shield and the helmet are actually weaker than the gargoyle's own skin, and they're just like decorative.
Interesting.
Hmm.
So it's like a ceremonial fight.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, except the halberd was just says a standard halberd without any special properties.
They ran out of money, so they gave him a regular thing. They're like, listen, we spent all that money on that helmet
Give
and
us some
everything.
cuts.
Here you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, Gwen did not budget properly. Okay, so do you
Okay.
have any other cool info on gargoyles of any kind?
I think that's about it for the gargoyles.
Are you
Oh,
sure
did we
though?
want to talk about how there's two variant gargoyles, like the ones in Undead Parish breathe fire, and then the ones in Undead, the ones in El Londo breathe lightning.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, let's talk
and I
about
guess
that.
yeah. Well, I guess like because that might have been what they were getting at about them being related to dragons.
Hmm.
Is dragons breathe fire, but then the ones in I may it might be because like maybe they're not expecting you to have very high lightning defense at that point in the game.
Wait a minute though, gargoyles, could they be demons?
Well, it's one of the questions, isn't it? Like, are they related to demons?
Hmm.
But the way it's described is like all the demons have to come from Isolate.
Yeah, and it could. Like it could make sense that because Gwen was a great leader and the unifier of
Yeah,
Lordran, so maybe
yeah. And
some
he has
gargoyles.
there's
Yeah.
two demons in Undead Asylum that are guarding
Yeah,
it.
so he had
Yeah,
people
yeah.
work for him, because he was such a charismatic man.
He was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a picture of him on my wall.
Wow.
Yeah, multiple.
I have a picture of a wizard summoning a unicorn made of fire. It's like an old print of like a Dungeons. It's great. I it looks like I got it. It's like a Dungeons and Dragons like book cover or something, and I got it for $2 at this people who were having a garage sale, and then I got it. And I thought, oh, this is so ridiculous. I love it. And then the woman who sold to me was like, "I'll take really good care of that because I've had it for like 20 years."
You know what the funny part is? I was actually joking. You're not.
Ah, no, it gets better because when I got it, I put it up in my parents' living room.
They allowed you to do that?
No, they didn't know. And then and then they had guests over.
Did they kill you?
And they're like, "Oh, this is an interesting painting you've got up here." Because they have all these like nice paintings of like French houses and like little like cottages by lakes, and there's this like wizard summoning a unicorn made of fire
Oh man.
in his like tower, and like, where's this from? Like really. And then last year I did that again, but I did it with an anime wall scroll.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Speaking of those, my boyfriend, when we went back to his mom's house and like I saw his room, right? He has like
Yeah.
25 of those, like 30 stashed away and like 5 on his
Oh
walls.
God.
I was like, oh my god, I love you, but have you thought of getting a life? And he's like, I've been moved out for 2 years. Come on now.
I used to have a poster of Kirby, the Nintendo character,
Aw.
that I got it from a magazine in 1992, and I like became obsessed with preserving it because it was like 20 something years old, and I refused to take
Oh,
it down. And
that
then one
is
day I
very
decided, no,
cute.
no, this is ridiculous. I need to get rid of this.
Oh no.
I no, I have. I hope this is going in. I have a really, really awesome poster that I got from an Australian video game magazine, and it's the laziest, shittiest thing I've ever seen, and it's like the most '90s like garbage. It's just this like fractal background with like rainbow stripes on it. And on top of that is like a stock image of a skull, and then under that is written, "Chill out, I'll do it tomorrow."
That is so 90s.
I know, I got it because I bought some old '90s magazines on eBay. That arrived. It arrived and it still had the poster inside. They hadn't taken it out.
Oh my goodness. Ah,
I'll take a photo of it. You
yeah.
can put it in the video.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Oh man. There's no 90s like the 90s, man.
That's true. I missed them. I remember one of Aegon's streams. We were talking about Final Fantasy VI, and we were like, "No, no, it was really impressive for 1994." And the guy in the chat was like, "Well, I wasn't born in 1994," and I was like, "What? Why is there a 6-year-old in the chat?
Do
You
you
shouldn't be watching this. It's too violent." I'm like, "Oh wait, you're like 22."
That's so true. People, let this sink in. People who were born in 2000 are turning 18 this year.
Hmm.
I just want you to think about that.
No, I've been thinking about it a lot. Honestly, it's depressing. I think the moment it struck me was when people started saying that the Nintendo 64 was retro.
Oh my god. Oh god. No. They don't
Yeah,
say that.
it's retro. It's retro. It's 20 years old.
Oh my god.
Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1 are both retro consoles now.
Are you kidding me? No.
No, I know.
Does this make us retro humans?
Yes. And the last video store in town shut down.
No.
It's all gone now.
Oh my god.
I went there just as it was shutting down and tried to buy as much of their old stock as possible.
That's a good idea. So
Yeah,
that's how I got a lot of East Asian horror movies.
Yeah, I got them from Chinatown in Melbourne. I would just go there and buy like tons and tons and tons of
Yeah.
like just whatever was available. I still haven't watched it all. I've watched conservatively about 20% of the DVDs I got from Chinatown when I used to live there, which was almost 10 years ago. Because it's just this mountain of things I don't know what they are, and I don't know what they're about. And like, so I just have to be like, is it worth it in this lucky dip? In this like roulette of like, I don't know what this is even going to be.
You know what? This reminds me of, remember when you'd go to a video store and
Yeah,
then you'd see like a DVD and it had a cool cover and you're like, I think I'm going to take a chance. Because we didn't
yeah,
have no fancy internet with like fancy
that's true.
reviews. Yeah. Like I wouldn't go to like, what was it, Blockbuster or Videotron or whatever. I would go to the local one because it was only like $3, and you
Yeah,
could rent
yeah,
games for like a week.
yeah.
Oh.
Uh, no, it was more like when you would go to video stores and you would be like, you can get 5 weeklies for $5, but they're $3 each.
Yeah, yes.
Normally, yeah, that's what the places in Chinatown are like, because they're trying to get rid of their stock as quickly as possible.
I see,
So
I
like,
see.
it was always cheaper to get like 10 things than get one.
Yeah.
So I would come back with just armfuls of I don't even know what this is.
Have you thought of opening a museum?
I actually would. I would like to have a museum of I don't know, a museum of I'd like to run an archive more so than a museum, I think, of just things that
Like Seath Archive?
I feel like Mikolash a lot, honestly.
Well, it's true. I mean, I have irreversible proof that you are Mikolash, though it probably got erased. Like
It
when
may
you
have
were
been
saying,
erased, yeah.
of course, and
Yeah.
what else?
Well,
Oh,
multiple people have said I remind them of Mikolash. I was talking in another Discord earlier about like who would you cosplay as, and like I could probably do Mikolash. The problem is that the Mensis Cage head, I would like keep bashing it on the tops of doors and probably break my neck at some point, so that won't be happening.
oh
But
no. Well, listen, we all gotta go sometime. But I can't think of a better way to go than
make
that.
this like a Patreon exclusive thing. If people subscribe to your Patreon, you get like half an hour of outtakes with absolutely no like topic of discussion that are completely incoherent.
It's gonna be this, and I feel like, what I spend the most time editing out is you saying, okay, like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
me laughing nonstop. Okay.
Okay.
Good talk, good talk.
Good talk.
All
We're
right.
closing in on 2 hours.
Okay, well, again, thank you so much for doing this yet again.
Thank you for asking me on.
And so yeah, I'm gonna look through the files and see
It was deleted.
if I can save anything. I don't know, but
We might.
yeah.
I don't mind. We can do it again.
Okay, and
Okay.
but I think next podcast we should do it in French.
No.